Understand. Good morning. Do you hear us now? Go ahead and speak. Thanks, Chandra.
Can you hear me now?
Every time we update. Every single time.
You right?
All right. I think we're going out there now. Thank you very much for letting us know right away that there was a sound issue. Greatly appreciated, chat.
Bless the chat.
I see someone had a question about Hunter. I have no idea. We're not playing that right now. We're playing Trinity Continuum Core, the Phoebe Trust.
Ready.
In the world that we are visiting, the world of the Trinity Continuum is a sort of sci-fi action adventure. It's the world outside your window, 10 minutes into the future. And in this particular bubble of the continuum, there are modern day psionics, scions with the ability to use mental powers to make the world a better place, perhaps, or for their own edification.
Bum, bum, bum.
The choice will ultimately be theirs. But before we get too far into this, I would like to make a couple of quick notes. Let everybody know a couple of things that are going on right now over at Redbubble. They have a discount coupon. If you add Change It Up 30, you get 30% off site wide. And we have a bunch of Pugmire stuff over there. So since it's Realms of Pugmire month, figured I'd throw that link in the chat. If you need a new Pugmire t-shirt or maybe even some stickers, get 30% off by entering in that code. Woohoo. I also wanted to, because it is Pugmire month, wanted to point you to our Drive-Thru RPG store where you can get several of the Pugmire source books for 10% of their retail cost. That's not 10% off, that's 10% of. You can get the Pugmire core book in PDF for $1.50 right now. It's a great time to hop in and check out the settings. So if you've not yet done so, please do.
I gotta check it out now.
Yeah, thank you. And
Thanks.
last but not least, this Friday is the game night with Onyx Path via Start Playing Games. I'm going to go ahead and throw that link in the chat as well. And that's a thing that we run now every month, the last Friday of the month. We're organizing a game night. People can get together Friday night or into Saturday, going through Start Playing Games. And this is an opportunity for people to try out new games that they haven't tried before. If you want to run something that either you have run a million times or maybe you've never run before, you can set it up and earn a couple of bucks while you're in the process of doing it if you go through the Start Playing Games website. And this, the revenue from this, if I'm not mistaken, is split basically between the vendor and the DM. I think it's all between just the two of them. I don't even know that Onyx Path gets a chunk of it. So it's really kind of a opportunity for the fans to get together, try out new games, have an organized sort of play experience. And that link is up in the chat as the Start Playing Games event, Game Night Onyx Path. I think that's everything that I needed to make sure everyone was aware of. So let's go ahead and do our introductions. And let's start things off with our good friend from Down Under, Jacob. Please give us your pertinence.
Me? Oh, hello. I'm Jacob. I do a bunch of things, laughing and otherwise. I'll be playing today Lazarus Quell, a psionic teleporter and various gunslinger of things. My father obviously having constructed, or family having constructed a terrible organization that captures other psionics that have broken off from them. And, well, now I'm going to set things right. So that should be very exciting. But yeah, catch me in various socials if you can. But
I love
yeah,
it.
that's me.
I think it's gonna be great. Next up, we have Stacy. Please tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything else you'd like to share with the group.
Well, I'm Stacy, she, her. I'm playing Ruby, also she, her. She's a street rat. She was captured. She's a first generation scion. So as she escaped and had to live on the street, and she's a scrappy telepathic scion.
Excellent. And next up, that brings us to Nicole. Please tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, pronouns and pronouns. Anything you'd care to promote.
Okay. Hi, Nicole Biggins. I do marketing right now. I just finished my pre-sales for Sexy Anime Men. Yay, stickers.
God, sexy anime, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so my character, I've decided her name's gonna be Clara Gilman. And eventually, she'll talk about her hero name. It'll be great. So she comes from a life of privilege, charismatic leader. So I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, she wants to create, her own little cults and everything, all that good stuff. I was like, but what kind of person is she? I was like, you know what? Let's go make her a little Viking-esque, but she has a weakness towards tacos.
Taco weakness, very fair.
It's a common weakness. It's much more common than you think. When in doubt, try tacos. And last but not least, that brings us to Kelly. Please give us your pertinent details.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly. I'm the storyteller and host over at twitch.tv/dorktales, as well as youtube.com/dorktales, or wherever you get your podcasts. I am playing Dr. Tom Hodge. Both of us use he and him as our pronouns, but I am far less broken than Tom Hodge. Tom Hodge is the sad dad character of the party, and I am looking forward to getting my inner dad on in preparation for future dadhood someday. Down the line. That wasn't an announcement or anything.
Oh my God!
How soon?
Congratulations, Kelly!
Like 4 years from now.
Run while you still have legs. No, I mean, congratulations.
Barely. Eventually. 4 years from now. 4 years. 4 more years of freedom. So Tom Hodge is the sad dad, like missing child archetype. Every like bearded big guy in a TV show of the last 20 years. Should he have a missing daughter or son? What's less tropey, or is it son's less tropey, right?
I mean,
Son's a bit less tropey, yeah. I think.
Yeah, son is less tropey. There's.
Okay.
I would say son.
Okay, then I'll go with I will randomly roll to find out what my son's name is on babycenter.com.
Excellent. While you're rolling, I want to thank you for helping that person in chat with the question, and I want to remind everybody too. Like, feel free to ask questions in chat. I was saying we were about to go live with an announcement. I didn't have time to answer your question at that moment.
All right, his missing son's name is Tyler, and his ex-wife's name is Grace.
Excellent.
There we go. We're good.
They
Travis,
were once the cat.
You can see the chat, right?
I can see the chat. Yeah.
Only you can,
Yeah.
right?
I'm on Twitch. I can see it.
If you're on Twitch, you can see it. I'm not. I'm looking at it through Twitch.
Follow along. Hi, chat. By the way,
Hi,
it's delightful to have you. Little chat. We can go doing toy out things. Love it.
So yeah, it's juggling a window or three. And speaking of juggling windows,
I'm not going to try to do that because I'll.
Yes, I do not
have two screens.
Yeah. By all means, I do not expect you to divide your attention. You're here to play a game and have some fun. So
Okay.
let's dive into it.
Takes away.
So the setting of our tale today is the Second City Safe House. The Second City Safe House is the Phoebe Trust's Chicago location. Under the oversight of a scion by the name of Jean Bouvier, Second City works to locate and liberate scions in the Midwestern U.S. area. And the safe house is located in the city on Clark near Belmont. There's a nightclub below that covers up most noise. The presence of vibrant nightlife also means that the members of the Phoebe Trust can pretty much come and go at all hours of the night without arousing any suspicion. The safe house itself is a 3-bedroom apartment, which makes it a pretty cramped space for the Phoebe Trust to operate out of, and Gene is always looking for a potential upgraded location. And while the Phoebe Trust remains off the radar of various other allegiances that operate in the area, Gene does maintain relationships with a few members of local law enforcement, as well as some members of the Aeon Society, thanks to the Aeon Society having their main global headquarters is also in Chicago. Gene also maintains connection with a group called Archangel, who were instrumental in assisting the Phoebe Trust with liberating her from the French government in 1984, where she had been experimented on. So she is also a first-generation scion, as part of a French super soldier program. In addition to stability and security that you get from having access to this safe house, the Second City Safe House offers super science tech, which helps locate, contain, train, and even awaken new scions. The security system also projects a sort of psychic impulse to ignore anyone that is going into or out of the apartment itself. So kind of a slight psychic aura of security on top of the mundane. And that is where you operate. Today's tale is called Cold Case. Our story begins with a grisly murder. Jean has called you together, a meeting in the living room of the safe house. She says, "Good morning. I'm sorry to pull you together on such a early hour for such a unpleasant piece of business, but I received a phone call from the coroner's office. It seems
someone died.
A body washed ashore. I would hope so. Otherwise, otherwise,
Very
we need
strange
a
at the coroner's
coroner.
office. Yeah, probably lost his marbles.
To be up this early, there better be somebody dead.
Who died? Someone we know, someone we like?
It's a Jane Doe. She washed ashore sometime Wednesday morning, and her body was found at about 8:45 a.m. by a family who was going out for a beach day. Are we all ready to keep? Anybody got a quick one about that one? Got a one-liner?
No, someone died. I think it's probably
Life's a beach.
Oh, you never disappoint. So,
don't quit your day job, Dr. Tom.
The family who found the corpse are the Petersons. From what I understand, details are a little sketchy, but it sounds like the dad saw the body and kind of shoot everyone off beforehand. But their older child, the son Alex, did get a good look at the body. From what the coroner tells me, what the medical examiner tells me, the body was severely mutilated. Pieces of the head, neck, and back are missing.
Only pieces?
Only pieces.
Which pieces?
Well, that's something specifically that you're going to be going to find out. The medical examiner is a guy by the name of Abel Cunningham. He called me specifically because he'd seen similar wounds on a case back in the 1990s.
Oh, right.
These wounds belonged to a first-generation scion who'd had their implants ripped out.
Oh.
I remember the case specifically, and as far as I know, the person responsible for that is dead.
Who was the person responsible? Was there a file or something?
His name's Jackson Dorian. He, as far as I know, is the only serial killer in history to target scions.
So you're thinking a copycat then?
Be a copycat.
Could be.
And Dorian's in jail. Like they got the
dead.
That'll work.
As far as we know.
Was he made unalive by someone, or did he?
Why don't you roll empathy and whatever attribute you would like to pair with that?
I would like to add gun to it. No, I shouldn't use that. I shouldn't use that trick already.
Just wave your pistol around. Give me some answers.
Give me some answers. I need information. Yeah, let me just roll that up. I didn't bring a dice. Hold up. I'm going to use this dice roll up. My empathy is possibly not great. It's not great. Okay, yeah, I've got no empathy.
Excellent. But
I do have some cunning.
Cunning?
I add some cunning.
Go ahead and make cunning roll, please.
Cunningly empathetic. So it's still 4 dice. Is it an untrained negative?
Nope, just that you don't have dice from a skill.
Like 1 success.
Oh, good. That's still enough to recognize that she is clearly uncomfortable discussing this case. That doesn't mean you have to stop. You just you clock that she has physically readable emotional response, and from what you know of Jean, that's not typical.
Normal. Yeah, she's keeps to herself. Yeah, like I kind of can you like the middle line of questioning is like, is this someone you like? Do you know? Did you work with this? Like,
I know that he's dead because I killed him.
I see.
We're there.
Just like, just
So how about coffee? Anybody need coffee? I'm gonna get us some coffee.
Claus just starts laughing.
Oh gosh.
Calm down, Claude. I know we're big on the cult thing, but someone died.
I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting that. Good job.
Right.
Are you sure that you killed him?
Oh, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Did you kill him psychically?
No, but I did.
She killed him dead. That's probably enough. Come on.
I watched him die.
If she says she did it, she did it. Okay.
I psychically watched him die.
Stop badgering.
I read his mind while the light went out in his eyes because I wanted to know what it felt like to end that kind of evil.
Okay.
That's a bold choice. All right. So before we dealing with a copycat, then we can look into it. Is there anything you think is pertinent for us to know about this case before we go poking around?
Well, for one thing, the number of people who knew about this case as what it truly was is a handful, and most of them are either dead or not in the country right now. In other words, members of the Phoebe Trust, the local ME, a couple of beat cops maybe, and they didn't know. And as far as knowing the actual involvement of psychic ability, like most of the people who are aware of the case believe it to be a mundane serial killer. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
But having said that, I mean, I didn't keep records of it. I just handled it. So Abel may be able to pull something from the police files.
I mean, Doc wouldn't like kind of looks to Dr. Tom. Doc, I'm going to refer to you as Doc. I think that's probably the way I would define.
Yeah. Your first name is Russ, so yeah.
Yeah, Doc Russ, whatever he'd be about. These kind of like wounds, would they be from a similar branch of psionics? Would they be like a particular thing that a dude would do? Like, do you know much about how that would work? Or
I mean, how good are the photos?
The photos are pretty solid. You can go ahead and what would you like try to make a medicine check based on?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make a medicine check. I think he's gonna make a character sheet needs to load. Composure and medicine, I think, is a pretty good roll.
Okay. Yeah.
Just kind of to take your time, piece over it. All right. Wham! God, I love these dice. 10s are 2s or 10s are rerolls?
10's a reroll. 10's count, and then you roll again. See if you get another success.
Okay. I'm at 4 successes.
Beautiful. So you're overcoming a complication of 3 because these are, while they're good photos, they're still just photos.
Oh, I'd have to see the body, but
you definitely can tell that the wounds are the deep wounds, the wounds where there's missing tissue. It looks like it was scooped out. Okay, and done so in a sloppy.
Is that a fucking ice cream scoop?
Right? Yeah.
All right, we're off to
What the?
It's very haphazard, and you can also very clearly see that there are wounds on the wrists and ankles of the body that are consistent with like a rope burn or like straining against some sort of restraint.
Was the serial killer guy, Jackson Dorian, was he psionic?
He was.
So he didn't need to tie people up like this guy.
What was his psionic
No,
power?
he didn't ever tie a victim up. He would incapacitate them with telekinetically.
Okay, this guy bound him and scooped him with something.
Scooped him?
Like the tissue, it's sloppy. This
So
guy
it's
didn't
not
know what he was
medical-
doing.
Gene
He's
says-
not a
he's an
medical
idiot.
guy.
Gene
Oh, he's
says,
some crazy wackadoo.
I can tell you for certain that Jackson surgically removed the implants from his victims.
I see.
He wanted to keep them as trophies.
I mean, we don't even know if this Jane Doe is psychic or not. Well,
Well,
I wouldn't imagine.
Is she someone that one of us might recognize? Because the pattern is that they were taking out implants.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go ahead and make a culture roll
Okay.
or integrity, whichever is higher. And you can apply what attribute do you think pairs best with that for trying to remember someone you know?
Okay, so I have 0 in culture and integrity. Is that what you said?
Yep. So you could, I would say you'd probably want to rely on like either cunning would be like quick thinking or composure would be like really racking your memory.
Okay, okay, either one. I have a 3 in both of those.
All right. So go ahead and roll 3 dice.
Okay.
You're looking for numbers of 8, 9, or 10.
Okay. Which, like, these dice are different. Which ones do I roll?
They're all the ones I gave you have the same amount of sides.
Oh, okay. Because some of them are like 30, 50, 80, 20. but
Right.
some
You
of-
just ignore the 0. All you have to do is ignore the 0 on them.
Oh, and 0s or 10s,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, it's probably,
Oh.
if you see 2 zeros, it's a 10.
Okay, I have just 1 0, but that's a 10. Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, I got a 7, a 3, and a 7.
Excellent. So that is no successes. You do not recognize her at all.
Okay.
But you do gain a point of momentum for the momentum pool. Momentum is very
Ooh.
important. It's a thing that you want to keep track of. I will try to keep track of how much you have as well. You
Where
start.
do I
You
write
can
that?
just make a note anywhere on scratch paper or what
Okay.
or whatnot. Your group starts with a number of momentum equal to the number of players. So you start off with 4. You now
Okay.
have a 5th point. You can spend momentum to activate skill tricks. You can spend momentum to activate certain gifts, and you can spend momentum to re-roll failed dice.
Oh, okay.
So if you fail on a die roll, you can spend momentum and say, all momentum expenditures though require the whole group to agree. So
All right. So if I really want to open a door with a gun, that makes a lot more sense.
Right.
I will pitch my argument every time. For look, I got a history roll here. Gun could definitely apply here. I just
if I shoot
sounds
the
good.
book, it'll open to the right page.
That's how good my trick shots are. Man, knowledge.
So having said all that, yeah, you do not recognize her at all. Jean says, the Emmy is expecting you. You should just need to go there and tell them that you're there to meet with Abel.
Yep.
Is there anything else that you need from me beforehand?
I think so. We'll keep you up to date.
Please do.
Do you think of anything we need to know? Well, you know where to find us.
Of course.
Or call us at the very least. All right, Doc, I think this is going to be your rodeo.
Great. Well, let's go get it.
Yeah.
All right. And so you're heading to the medical, to the morgue. Is there anything else that you would like to do before you head out or on your way there? Any contacts you would like to reach out to? Anything you would like to try at all? Any personal business that you want to attend to that's not anything to do with the mission?
Can we get some lunch on the way?
You can absolutely get some
for
lunch.
sure.
Awesome. Tacos?
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 How about Mexican?
I could eat tacos.
All right, I hear tacos.
Only if they have quesadillas. Actually, there's a good quesadilla shop around the corner, actually. I could do some quesadillas.
You know, that sounds good too.
Actually, let's not talk about food too much because I might start getting actually hungry. It's too late.
You managed to acquire a meal.
Yes.
And make your way to the morgue. As one does, grab some food on the way to the morgue.
Well, yeah.
It's not an investigation at the morgue unless you
we got like little taco bibs, little taco hats.
Meat,
like,
this
is great.
Yes.
You walk
I'm
in,
down for taco
the
hats.
Emmy's just got a plate.
Tacos.
Yeah, he's like,
Emmy just has a
we
plate
get some
sitting
daiquiris?
on the corpse's chest.
Oh my god, we got to bring food for Abel.
You got to give him a little snack. He's a hungry guy.
When you get there, you are able to give Abel's name to security, and they just let you straight in.
TY, don't even pat me down. Thanks, bud.
Not at all. And when you walk in, you see Abel. He's a guy in his 60s, probably. He's got the body laid out on a slab. His tools next to him. There's a file that has various crime scene photos and such on it. His tape recorder. And he says, "You're Gene's friends, right?"
We're associates, yeah.
Well, Abel Cunningham, Gene and I go way back. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Abel.
Likewise.
We brought you lunch. Don't worry.
Oh, I just finished some barbecue wings. But
That's right, leftovers.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You didn't eat them in here, did you?
Well, yeah, of course. He says,
You Leathers looks at the body, looks at this guy like, okay.
You get used to it.
You squeamish?
No, I just probably wouldn't eat chicken wings next to a dead body, but hey, that's just me.
He walks over and kind of opens her Y incision just so that he can start pointing at things. Says, all right, a couple things. While the media is still calling her a Jane Doe, we have made preliminary identification. We're pending next to kin before we go public with it. But her name is Monica Carter, age 23. And she's been missing for 3 years.
Wow.
Cause of death was a stroke. All the wounds, well, not all the wounds, the major wounds on the body are post-mortem.
Broke.
Time of death, estimated at midnight to 4 a.m. on Tuesday. She was found wrapped in plastic.
she was missing for 3 years, but she was alive.
Seems to be.
Comey is a stroke.
When you say died midnight on Tuesday, is that like morning Tuesday or night Tuesday? How are we doing this?
From
morning Tuesday.
Yeah, morning Tuesday from midnight to
From
4
00 Tuesday. All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
What day is it today?
Thursday.
Okay.
So it took her 2 days to wash up, right?
No, one day
They found her.
They found her
Huh.
Wednesday
On
morning.
Wednesday? Okay.
And she went missing on a beach day, you said, right?
You did not get the details of how she went missing. She was found by a family that were doing a beach day.
Okay.
No, right. Interesting.
So washed up basically on the public beach next to Lake Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Do you mind if we get a autopsy report from you so we can copy?
He says, of course. I also took the liberty, given, the nature of the case, of pulling Jackson Dorian's file.
Thank you. You're across everything then?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Well, yeah, what
You're
did you
across
say?
everything then when it comes to scions then? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah, I'm aware of it.
Cool. Just want to be transparent.
Oh, yes. Yes, I am aware of what Gene does and the work that you people do, and I'm very, very happy to be of service to you.
So
Have I heard of Monica Carter?
Heard of? Probably not. If you'd like to do a Google search or something like that, you certainly could. You have, I assume, a phone on you. You want to make a enigmas or technology roll?
Is someone else tech savvy? I don't know how to use this thing.
he's like sure. Like he's gets his phone out and does a quick Google. Like,
I mean, I have a lot of enigmas. Is that what you're asking?
Enigmas works too. Yeah.
I've got technology one. I know how to use a phone.
Yeah, technology makes you better at searching, as does enigmas. Enigmas is like
I have 0 technology, but I have 4 enigmas.
Yeah.
Oh.
Enigmas
Nice.
is fine. You can even work together on this, right? You could say, the person with the tech knows the best search engines to go to. They're going to be
Alta
more
Vista.
efficient, and the person with enigmas knows the best search terms to put in.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Woohoo.
why don't you both make those rolls, and we'll combine
Sounds
your
good.
successes.
Okay.
And in fact, I'm going to give you an enhancement of 1 on this roll.
Yep.
So
So get extra dice.
So the way enhancement works is if you get any material successes, those apply as automatic successes.
Okay.
Okay.
Do
What's the
I-
material success then?
Do I roll 4 or?
Yep, you roll the number of dice in the skill plus what attribute you'd like to pair it
I
with.
put an attribute. Okay. Should I put intellect?
Intellect is great, absolutely.
So I have 4 of those too, but the most I can roll is 5, right?
Well, you just roll 4 dice and then roll 4 dice again.
Oh, okay.
And you were asking
Sounds
Jacob,
good.
sorry,
What's the
target number?
you defines the different types of success.
A material success is a success
material
on the
success,
die.
yeah.
So
Okay,
like
cool.
if you roll 1 on the die.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll 4 and then roll 4.
Yep, and just count the total.
No
and
successes.
add it all
unfortunately.
together.
Yep.
No successes, unfortunately. 1 out of 5 of 5.
Okay, well my first roll is a 7, 4, 6, and 2.
So that's no successes in there because you're only worried about ones that are 8 or higher,
Okay.
unless you roll a 1. But that's
Should we as a team
I got an
consider
8.
using
8 and 10. All right,
Yeah.
excellent. So now you re-roll that 10,
that'd be helpful.
Okay.
and then you
Another 10.
another 10. Re-roll it again.
Cool.
So that's 3 successes.
Exploding.
It's a 4.
4 successes total. Excellent. Plus your enhancement,
Nice.
so that's 5. So yeah, okay. So not only do you find out that she was missing, she was listed in a public database. She had gone missing at the age of 20, so she was too old to be part of the missing and exploited children site. But she's on various FBI websites. went missing from the city of Chicago, went out with some friends one night, never came home, kind of thing. The cops sort of wrote it off as probably ran off with a boyfriend, but the family has not given up the search.
So she was a nobody.
No connections, no, she wasn't rich, she wasn't famous, she wasn't, just average Jane.
Interesting. And sorry, just to clarify, we are in Chicago, yes?
Yes.
Cool, gotcha. Awesome. Does it mention who the boyfriend was? Like what his name is?
No, there's no specific boyfriend listed. The police conclusion was more along the lines of she ran off with a boyfriend, or she went to go be a movie star, or she took off, like, you know, that she took off of her own volition, based on the evidence that they had.
Cool.
So her disappearance is considered a cold case.
Okay. And she was a scion?
Not that you know of. There's no evidence of that whatsoever.
Would Abel know this?
Abel says, well, I don't have any evidence of it.
Hmm.
Anything that would indicate that she was would have been surgically removed by this point. Now, I'm not psionically active, but if you'd like to examine the body that way, I'm not going to stop you.
Oh.
So maybe telekinetic? Or...
There's no active mind in the body, so you can't
It'd be-
use telepathy right now. You can look it over like a general attunement sense. Attunement as scions, you have an inherent awareness of the subquantum universe around you. This gives you the ability to sense strong sources of psionic energy, as well as to feel sudden dramatic changes in psi flows. This attunement allows the scion to feel these changes at greater distances as their psi trait increases. You can take an ordinary action to concentrate on your attunement, rolling psi plus your highest mode. Success tells you if there's any strong psi sources, such as a powerful scion, potent psionic items, or a power in use within your attunement range. It doesn't reveal any information about the psi source, just that it is in fact a source of psychic energy. So you could all attune and try to see if there's ambient psi left on the body.
Okay.
So what so we look at the sign number or the little dots?
So you look down at your dots, and where it says psi, you'll take your psi, and then you'll take whatever you have your modes underneath, the 3 different powers that your psi gives you.
Yeah.
Whatever the highest one of those, that many dice as well. So it's psi plus your highest mode. You'll roll that.
Are the modes these aptitudes?
Yes.
Okay. And the psi you said is 5, or the dots?
Yeah.
Right. It would be whatever your psi is. Your psi dots, not your psi
Or
points.
dots. I got you.
Yeah, you're always rolling dots. Points are going to be red numbers.
So I have a 3 and a 1.
All right. So go ahead and roll 4 dice.
Do we all want to do it together? Or do you want just one person to try and do it?
You can each give it a shot to see what information you get.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'll roll my psi.
The other thing that does make this beneficial is each of you gets a certain. Well, one thing you will all become familiar with her psi pattern in its current state. So, for example, if you found something else that had her psi pattern, like the rest of the remains, you would be able to compare those two and recognize it. For one. The other thing that this provides you is certain things based on your generation. So just give me a moment to bring up the Phoebe Trust.
I'll roll my dice.
So I have
2 successes.
I have a psi of 2, and I have 2 in psych bending, so I'd roll 4.
That is correct.
And we're looking for 8 and above, you said?
Yep.
Okay, I have 1 8.
Excellent.
Okay. I only have 1 success.
All right. So, and did Dr. Tom get any successes?
Dr. Tom has no psi. I was just being snarky.
Right. You're Tom. I don't suppose you're rocking Behold the Halo in your gift.
I got 0 successes.
I just like to. No, Dr. Tom has smoke. He's just like, they're doing that thing again.
I'm just gonna go out and have a seg.
Okay, so this is a basic power.
We're gonna be a son.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, in my edges, I have this favored mode for psych bending. Does that mean I get extra?
That just gives you enhancement when you're using psych bending.
Okay, but like I just picked psych bending for.
Right. Attunement is not a specific psych bending use. Your highest mode is just used because that shows how powerful you are overall psychically. Make sense?
Yes.
So for the first generation scions, nothing changes. This just works and you activate your attunement. For the third generations, now that your attunement is extended, you can use your powers freely without any additional difficulty. And okay, so of you, which are third generation scions? All right, the two of you can sense that there is some sort of bizarre, not quite psychic energy near the site of the deeper the scooping wounds. Like perhaps it was these areas were dug out with some sort of a device that was somehow powered with flux energy.
Interesting.
So
I have a question. The places where the implants are, is that an indicator of if this person was a scion of what generation they would be?
Absolutely. If they were a scion, they would have been first generation.
Okay.
Because second generation scions have very, very, very minimal, if any, implants at all. And third generation scions don't have implants.
Don't have implants. Okay.
okay, so do we feel that a scion attacked this person or that they just use a scion tool?
It looks like they might have used some sort of tool that used psychic energy, or it's possible that they literally ripped the person apart psionically, but it doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel like regular psi. It feels like there's some other component to the energy that you can't quite put your finger on. Like something that's right in the edge of your peripheral vision, but that you know is there, but when you turn, it moves like in lockstep. That kind of a sense of energy.
Interesting.
Okay, so we're gonna express this out loud to the team.
Yeah. It's like side conversation.
Like, oh wait, out loud.
Oh yeah.
Did I miss another conference call?
I'll let you two take it away.
Okay. Yes. So pretty much it's I can't tell if it's a side tool or something. It just feels a little off. I can't put my finger on it. What
Some kind of device almost. I don't know. It seems to be like some kind of, I wouldn't say psi-powered device, but some kind of device, a psi adjacent, but that's not particularly helpful. We might be one of the groups messing with new technology, but I mean, she did disappear 3 years ago. She'd be probably local. Well, at least we got a psychic signature, so we can kind of figure out if there's more of this shit around.
Did Dr. Tom want to do any sort of analysis of the body, look over anything specifically? Where would you like to? Oh, hey, sorry, I forgot that my phone wasn't on silent.
I was like, that's a new notification sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? He's gonna do a quick look at any labs that were taken, blood panel. If she was tied up, was she drugged? Did she have any other compounds in her system that were detectable post mortem?
Go ahead.
Uh,
Give me a medicine check if you don't mind.
all right, let's take a look.
Or
This
if
is
you would
gonna
prefer
be.
to lean on science, you can do so as well.
I would not. I would not. Unless everybody gets real cool about me losing 2 dice. So yeah, I think he's gonna do some cunning and some science, or pardon me, and some medicine. And can I call in a specialty from? So I have the self-defense close combat specialty.
Okay.
I also want to see if she has any wounds that would appear that she saw this coming. She tried to defend herself or something like that.
Yeah, looking for defensive wounds. Absolutely,
Yeah.
that specialty will apply, which will give you an enhancement on the roll.
Okay. All right, here we go. I love these dice more last time, but that's 2 successes, 3 with the enhancement.
Excellent.
Or pardon me, 10s are only 1. My bad. Still thinking of the other system. So 2 successes with the enhancement.
And you did re-roll the 10, though, correct?
I did. It was a 4. It
Excellent.
betrayed me.
Do you want to spend any momentum on that roll?
From the way you're saying that, how many momentum do we have presently? We have
currently
five.
5.
I'm happy
If I
to spend momentum. Yeah, I think go for it.
spend
this is
1
probably
or
the-
2.
Oh, what's spending 2 do?
Just another die, right?
Yeah, each momentum you spend lets you re-roll a failed die up to the amount of dice you failed on. So, and also just a reminder, not that I'm saying you should be angling for XP all the time, but if you spend half your momentum in one scene, you gain an extra XP at the end of the session. Just throw
Hey,
it out.
look, spend half it. Done.
Spend half of it. Wait, so is that rounded up or down?
That's
Very
rounded up,
few.
so you'll need to spend 3. Did you fail? Did you
Ooh.
fail on 3
He's
dice?
giving us the.
Okay. Do y'all want me to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do it.
All right.
You want-
Spending 3. Okay.
It's,
That's
you
2
will-
more successes.
Oh, that's how you want it.
Beautiful. So your grand total of successes then becomes 4.
5.
4.
4. Yep. And-
1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4.
All right.
I thought you had the extra though.
I did, but I only rolled 2 on the first.
Oh.
I did bad math the first roll.
So the first thing you notice is that the wounds are definitely different.
These are definitely different.
The
Something like that.
wounds from that first case are like a Ripper-esque level of precision.
Hmm.
The wounds from the second case are made with an ice cream scoop.
The second one's clown shoes.
You also notice that those beyond the ones that match the implant placements are superficial, but a couple were inflicted pre-mortem, indicating that she fought back, indicating that she was tied up and conscious when that happened.
Good girl. Give them hell.
You also discover that whoever dumped her body likely came from shore as opposed to dumping her from a boat or a bridge. There's no post-mortem damage to indicate a high fall underwater, and had she been dumped deep by the boat, she may have never washed ashore, let alone overnight.
Yeah, because Lake Michigan is deep as hell. It has its own tide system.
Yep. So, and you can certainly, the tax won't be back for a couple of days, but Abel is more than willing to supply you with a already prepared little vial of blood that he took, because he's certain the Phoebe Trust will have access to better equipment than the lab he has to send it to.
Opioid
Yeah.
biokinesis. It's like, yes, this is what they were doing. Like, okay.
All right. Thanks, Doc. We'll communicate all that information in the grumpiest way possible. Dumped off a dock or something, but not tall. No, she's whoever did this. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't pull her out of the back of a pickup truck or like the trunk of a Toyota Tercel or something. This
Well,
is yeah.
Well, I think we've got some leads. Let's I think follow them up then.
Where were you for 3 years? He'll just say, kind of like looking at the body's face, like, where were you for missing for 3 years?
do you have any
That's
gifts
a
that you'd like to
good
apply
point.
during this investigation?
Ooh, do I? Let's find out.
You might.
I might. I got to remember what the hell my gifts are. My gifts are Doctor of Destruction. Nope. Instant diagnose. Should I have instant diagnosis?
That seems pretty you. I'm just gonna put it out there. I think that's pretty.
I don't know if
good.
it works on corpses. Let's find out. Let's look
Surely
this
it's gonna
up.
work on calls. Surely.
Instant diagnosis. Hold on. I just got to scroll down to medicine. Trigger discipline, warrior's eye, chess master. Almost there. I could give a rousing speech. No.
This
Come
lady
on.
died. We're gonna find out who did it.
Is that the skill
Almost
trick?
there. Yeah, it's the
It's a gift.
It's the gift, yeah. So, give brief description or moment to examine a patient, can effortlessly diagnose any medical issues, even in the heat of combat. Yeah, I can house MD this. Holy crap. I didn't realize it was that good.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
So,
Require you to spend a point of inspiration.
Might be good to know if you had some kind of condition, I guess.
it requires no roll, but if what is wrong with the patient is more complex or alien, then the roll is at a difficulty of 1 always.
Okay. It's
So, damn, sorry about that, guys.
that's fine. I'll go ahead and apply that to the roll that you made. So saying that you're investigating and you're benefiting from instant diagnosis.
All right.
The cause of death was the cause of death was in fact a stroke.
Was it an induced stroke? Or was it, I mean, she's 23. Like, how many 23-year-olds have a stroke?
You're fairly certain that the stroke had something to do with around the area where the scoops are. There are heavy collections of clotted blood, indicating to you that what had happened was, if there were in fact implants in this body, she probably had some sort of reaction to them, meaning she probably wasn't psionically active. So they in the process of trying to reject the implant, clots may have formed around it, causing a stroke or a series of strokes.
How long, or is there any scarring around the ligature marks? Like, can I tell if she was tied up for a short period of time or over a couple of years?
No, it looks like it was a short period of time.
Okay, cool. Because, yeah, that could definitely be something. So he'll communicate all of this information, and maybe someone, how old do kids gotta be before they stop doing implants?
Lazarus kind of like looks at. Did we figure out if the serial killer back in the day they ever found the implants? Like, did they ever find the implants? This like
His collection.
Jackson character took from people.
Any of the implants that were found, Abel says, I removed and I gave to Gene.
To Gene. Okay.
But how old? How, like, if you're not a kid,
Well,
you missed the boat, right?
no,
You were there back in the day then with
They
this
can-
Jackson Doyen character?
yeah, I was the ME on most of his cases. They can technically do the implant process on anyone, but the further you get past 21, the less likely you are to survive the process.
So why?
Once your brain is
So-
fully formed, it makes it very difficult.
It was 20 when she was taken, or when she went missing.
So she's
Yeah.
23 when she had the implant and it didn't take. So they ripped it out.
Unless they did it right away. I mean,
No, it's what
I mean,
killed
it
her.
doesn't. doesn't explain what the tool could be. Like, I mean, the tool doesn't. Whatever this tool is, I'm not sure what its relevance is, but I mean, it definitely has something to do with why she died and the reason as to why they apparently scooped this out of her. I was just wondering whether. So the implants initially recovered from the Dorian killings were recovered. They were like, what did he do with them? Was he giving them as trophies? Was he like,
Oh,
what was he doing with these
He
things?
was making a necklace out of them.
You know, this
Charming
Dorian
guy.
thing. Yeah, well, fashion aside, I don't think maybe this Dorian thing ain't connected, right? Like we're looking at a difference between like Jeffrey Dahmer and I don't know
It's
Gacy here.
To me, like the Dorian thing could be a red herring, but like it's something to keep
Yeah.
in the back of our minds.
A red fish.
I
Exactly.
think he's like,
I feel like
But-
possibly maybe whatever tool was used, possibly what if it was psychically manipulated? That could leave some kind of signature, maybe.
yeah,
You can do
psychically
that.
charged in some meaningful way. Yeah, can do that. There's definitely something to these wounds that's like psychically charged, but it doesn't register, at least for me, as something that like makes a lot of sense in the weird, wonderful world of being a psychic. So take that as you will. I've been around long enough to know that a coincidence like this is not something to just look over. I think that this serial killer has some connection to it, and considering that, like, you know, he's obviously local to the area, something's there. What it is, I don't know, but both leads should probably be chased down. You said there was a dock, like a dock somewhere, Doc?
I
They
mean, he
were
was
thrown
put. She was put in the ocean somehow, right? So I'm thinking like a pier, a dock. Chicago's got tons of those.
Mhm.
It probably. I mean, I ain't so good with math, but with tidal motions, how far could she have been away and still floated up on shore? I'm thinking that it probably wasn't too far away.
No, couldn't have been. And she will. And just FYI, you're aware she washed up on the western shore. So basically where the public beach is,
Yeah.
because there's like a western, and then it loops down to more of like a southwestern shore.
Yeah.
And I don't know that
yeah.
the southwestern shore is public beach. It was the western section.
Excuse me, be right back.
So
Sure. Actually, why don't we go ahead and take 5 there and do our brief break, if that works.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, we'll have a quick
Hold that
break.
thought, please, Kelly, if you don't mind.
all right. Totally.
Yes.
Those of you who are watching at home, please stick with us. We'll be right back.
Where
Yeah.
can dump body?
theoretically, we are here and we have sound and everything's right in the universe, I hope.
Woo!
Everything is well.
Thank you for being, for your patience, for hanging around. I had, just before we went into break, Dr. Tom had some thoughts. I asked you to hold those thoughts. What were those thoughts?
Okay, so where nearby can you dump a body? This is dumped, like, she died between midnight and 4. I'm pretty sure that he didn't dump her in the lake at noon, so probably sometime before sunrise. Okay, where's a good place along there you can dump a body nearby before sunrise without like the cops or security or hell even having access to the lake? I mean, everything, you got tons of stuff along that area. Unless he just went down to the beach and tossed her in, but then what did the body do for a day? You know? It had to float around a bit.
Was she in any kind of a trunk or anything when she was found?
She was found wrapped in plastic.
What kind of plastic? Just like regular, just generic plastic sheeting or trash bags?
No, like you'd hang over your window for the winter, like plastic sheeting.
Okay. So something you could find anywhere, basically. Okay.
Yeah, something you get
like
at
a mattress
hardware
cover
store.
thing.
Nothing with an address stamped on it. Okay.
Do you?
Just mailed to the lake.
Do you want to go down to the lake and try to look around? Do you want to try to meet up with the family? You have a couple of different options. You can also go back to the safe house and analyze the clues that you've gotten so far. Basically, analyze the blood. Pretty much would be what you'd have at this point.
We definitely want to follow with the police as well.
Yeah. Maybe they'll know some common, dumping grounds.
Right.
Or more that the initial disappearance of it. Like, I mean, there would be an initial investigation, and that might have some leads. If it was dropped entirely, which sounds like it kind of was, there might be a reason as to why that was as well.
Sure.
We can get to the bottom of that.
Do you have any contacts among the police?
For what you were telling us, we had some to do with the Phoebe Trust that we could access. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So what you would like to do then is whoever would like to sort of be the acting party.
You
I'm
mean
sorry?
Go ahead.
Oh, so the acting party will take their number of dots in the Phoebe Trust path and an attribute and roll those together as an attempt to try to see how much information you can get. If you succeed on this, it's not a problem. You get your info. You do take the path suspension condition, which means that any further use of your PB Trust path for the rest of the story has a complication of 2. If you don't resolve that complication, you gain path revoked, which means that basically you can't get any more help this story. Does that make sense?
How do you resolve the complication?
End of the story resolves the complication.
Oh, okay.
How do you resolve the complication when you roll? By spending successes on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, does anyone else have police contacts, or do you want to look at doing that? It'd be a big thing to get.
So we're taking an attribute and adding 1 because we just have 1 with the Phoebe Trust, right?
Correct.
I have 4 in intellect and resolve.
Okay, so resolve could be good, just like asking questions and persisting with your questioning until somebody finally breaks down and says, yeah, okay, look, here you go.
So I could roll 5.
I mean, I could use my presence. I have 6 in that.
Yeah, I would say like if we're going to be talking to people, like hand over to Nicole's character, Clara. I think Stacey, like your characters will be like is probably like the one to check people's minds, see who's who's lying, who's hiding something, so that we can let's be like a little team of knowledgey, scary
women.
Women. I mean, not inaccurate.
Yeah, not accurate. Look, I'm happy to let the women take the lead. I'm good with that.
So yeah.
And
then in that case, why don't we have Have Clara go ahead and roll 6 dice for us, please.
Okay.
You're looking for 8s or better, as always.
And what was the deal about ones?
Oh, ones only matter if you get no successes.
Oh, okay. So I have one success then.
Excellent. So 1 success is enough for you to be able to get access to. You're specifically looking for police leads, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you find out that according to the police report, the body was washed ashore already when the family arrived that found it. They didn't notice any forensic evidence indicating anyone moving into or out of the area.
I thought we were trying to find out
The original
the missing report.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were looking for the current stuff.
Yeah.
The missing persons report? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where she would have gone or what happened around that.
So they had gone to she left to go to Lollapalooza with some friends. And according to her friends, she had been left by them at a Waffle House at 3 a.m. in Rockford. With
These are the worst friends I've ever heard.
with a group of,
These are great, yeah.
gentlemen.
Oh wait, a group of gentlemen at 3 o'clock.
By the name of
Happened to me.
by the name of Spike, Duck, and Crust.
Spike.
So like here,
Duck,
we leave
and
you in the
Crust.
care of these very reputable gentlemen
Right.
by the name of Spike, Duck, and Crust.
I'm so looking forward to these wonderful NPCs when we tracking down. I can't wait to get the rich backstory of Crust and how they came to be Crust.
He's crust because his family owns a pizzeria, and they were on hard times, and that's all they could eat when he was growing up was the crust that other people left behind. And Duck, well, that's what the last thing he said to his brother before he died in Nam.
Yeah. And Spike, he's just a prick.
Yeah, he's just got spiky hair.
He's a Spike.
He's just got the one spiky hair. He's very bald.
Like,
Oh, he's got that. He's got that Backstreet
acts like a
Boys like
vampire.
spiked. Like
It's just
spiked
Joey
hair.
Fatone. It's just Joey Fatone.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, so that's what you're able to find out about the missing persons report. She had been left with a group of fellas. The police did follow up with these
A Waffle House.
with these gentlemen, and these gentlemen all claimed that after going back to Crust's house, she thought better of spending the evening in all of their company, and so they gave her cab fare and she left.
This is why you always clean your house, because when you bring back random girls to your crust pad, you don't want to make them uncomfortable.
Oh, not the Crust pad. No.
live together. Did you say that? It was.
Yes, yeah, they had it was like a group squat they were in.
Oh, okay, great. Sounds about right. In Rockford,
It was
right?
called Disaster
I'm
House.
not-
No,
I'm not
I mean,
gonna say it. I'm not.
Is that their
gonna say
frat? Disaster House!
Disaster House rules.
Great.
no, there was
Perfect.
it's a
Disaster
legit.
House.
That's an actual venue that at least at one
Yeah.
point existed here in Rockford.
Yeah.
Are you
Well,
kidding,
there was
really?
the big greenhouse. That's right by my house. That's like the new disaster house, I think.
Oh,
Was
lovely.
it green? Is it green?
I think it's green, but it's always dark when I've been there. So.
I see. You can't quite tell. Hmm.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's good.
So it was kind of this like punk squat that everybody just stayed at. All the walls, like there's a couple pictures from the interview of like all the walls are covered in graffiti and have holes kicked in them and shit. There's a
gonna say
skateboarding
it.
ramp in what looks like it was once a living room.
I mean, that's just classy.
That house is still around, but I don't know. I never went to disaster house.
I mean, like those places never last particularly long, but sometimes they just last forever. There's only two options. It lasts forever, or it's gone in like the next week. That's it.
They get gentrified, and now it's a Starbucks
Right.
with a skate ramp behind the barista bar. Yeah.
Yeah, they literally just add a library in there, like.
Yeah.
It's one of those mailbox lending libraries too. Like,
I can't wait to go to what did you call it?
Rockford.
The squat. The squat. The crusty squat. Oh boy, the crust pad. Oh boy. Good old Duck's place. Who knows?
Oh,
Oh.
Jesus.
I'm gonna take this blood back to the lab. I think. See what I can
That
find.
seems good.
The rest of you enjoy your crusty duck hunt.
So
I'm gonna go enjoy that crusty duck hunt myself. I think.
Oh, wait, can one of us now roll for the other police report?
yeah, absolutely.
The real one.
Absolutely.
Do you want to do that, Nicole, or?
Well, Nicole now has the path suspension.
I'll be back in 1 sec. My dog's going.
Oh, by all means. So Nicole now has the path suspension trait, which means that that you can make this roll, but it's a complication of 2. Or if one of you wants to lean on it because you haven't suspended your path yet, so you could make the roll, Stacy, and then that way you'd have both of it.
So you said I could use like resolve?
Yes, absolutely. So you're just kind of like sticking to your guns and just like, now I know that the Freedom of Information Act, and I know that this. And
So I have 4 there, and then the 1 in the Phoebe Trust, so I'll roll 5.
Excellent.
I just have to quickly appreciate that gun tool does say, no matter how unreasonable it may seem, you may add your like aim roll to a roll. Like it's all like, what, you can't use gun with history? Like, actually.
Okay, I got 1 success.
Beautiful. So with that 1 success, you learn that, well, as I had said before, the body was already ashore when the family had arrived to report it. They found nothing in the immediate vicinity from a forensic standpoint, but there had already been, people on the beach that morning. They couldn't. It made for a poor crime scene, was kind of their argument. The other thing that you get from that, though, the thing that clues you into, is they do mention that there is surveillance footage, but it hasn't been subpoenaed.
No.
Surveillance footage of the parking lot near the beach, and a portion of the beach that covers.
So it's time to go talk to people about giving us their camera access. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Just a little bit of crime. Sounds good.
So do you want to, at this point, split the party where we have Doc go back for analysis? We have Lazarus head up to the Crust Punks, and the others head to the lake. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, sounds good.
Works for me.
Come on, Zug.
Oh, the cat got back in.
She did. She just wants all my attention. I don't know what her problem is these last 2 days. We were playing Pugmire yesterday, and she just would not leave me alone. So I'm going to put her out of the room real quick. Give me half a second.
Into the tube.
Into the tube.
I do have, it's funny, I have a tube that goes directly to my basement. So that would actually be kind of funny.
Can I put it back?
Oh, we don't get to see the tube. Oh, he's hidden it.
Come on.
So who would like to go first as well? Who would like to go first in their side adventure?
I mean, Tommy Boy can go ahead and go first since he, stated that he wanted to do the blood thing first.
Yeah, I can go. Or that could be at the end, and I could call you at a dramatic time to be like, the blood came from inside the house.
No.
My apologies to the sound for my cat knocking everything over on her way out.
That's so good.
That's just cat things.
I have a feeling that the Crust Punks are not going to be giving that good information of fruit, so I could go first and get that out of the way.
Sure, yeah. If you want to make your drive up.
Yep, sounds good.
It's about 90 minutes or so from where you're at in the city to Rockford.
Yeah.
The drive is fairly uneventful. You sort of see the city dying and falling away into rural land before going through some rolling hills and a couple of fields. There's grass. There's some trees. It's pretty, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. And then
I love nature.
Snort.
and then you feel every ounce of hope and joy diminish and slowly be drained from your body as you make your way to the exit to Rockford, Illinois.
You hit every pothole.
Not bad.
After driving through
I've got drive skills too. I'm dodging it.
You avoid every pothole.
pothole encrusted street, you arrive at a house that has a door set over the door, like the door frame. There's boards on all the windows, and you can clearly see a condemned by the county sign in the window.
I'll go up to the house and like have like a little poke around in the windows and stuff like that. See if I assume it's like condemned and like there's all boarded up and can't really get in there, and there's no one inside.
Yeah, you can try to like sneak in if you want to. I mean, it is boarded up, but you can try to pry a board. Yes.
Is this the duck pad that he's at? Or
Yeah,
Is that the crusty squat?
You went to the crusty spot, yes.
Okay.
I did go to the crusty squat. Yes, you're so right. Yeah, like I'll try and make my way in there.
All right, go ahead and give me a larceny roll, please.
Larceny. Am I good at larceny?
I'm
Let's
really
find
good at
out.
listening.
I
Choose your
am good
gun.
at larceny. No, I need to use some momentum for that. I don't want to use momentum. I'll save it for a particular time, but I really want to use the gun roll for like the social check. Like, tell me what I need to know. Like, okay, man.
Shouldn't you be shooting the locks off the door?
It would be really good. Luckily, I am actually pretty good at larceny and also at dexterity. So I'm going to use larceny and dexterity, like pick those locks. And, I don't know.
At this point, it's more like pry back the wood and slide in between the 2x4s and the plywood and making open holes to squeeze through.
Rolling 8 dice. Wow, feeling rich.
How'd it turn
That's
out?
3 successes.
Not
3
bad.
successes.
Okay.
Not bad.
So you manage to squirm your way in and start looking around. You avoid almost immediately when you step inside. There's a hole in the ground that appears to be like where someone dug a fire pit down to the subfloor. So it's like like a foot down. They dug out like all the insulation and whatnot and made a little fire pit there.
I am going to. Oops, sorry. There you go.
Okay.
No, I was just going to say I was going to use my spatial sense. It allows me to get like a kind of. It's like one of the basic abilities of teleportation. It lets me like kind of vibe out an area.
Excellent. Roll, psi and your highest mode.
So darkness sends people in another room or reveal objects in a concealed space. There you go. Teleporter extensive senses and spends a scene concentrating on the Nordic totality of her location. Successes achieves a psychic connection. Okay, so I roll my psychic and the associated level of this.
Yep, the highest mode.
Highest mode, yeah.
Yep. Anytime you're using a basic
cool.
power, it's your psi plus highest mode.
Sounds good. That's a total of 1 success.
1 success? Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So you're feeling around, you feel out the space, you feel there's a cup to your left sitting on top of a messy dresser filled with discarded pieces of clothing and other various trinkets. And this cup is about half full with some sort of a pungent fluid you can smell from where you're at. It's like a beer stein.
Mm-hmm.
To your right, there's a hole in the wall that's roughly the shape of a person, as if they ran up at the wall as fast as they could and then just face planted against the drywall.
Mhm.
You feel a set of stairs that leads downward and a set of stairs that lead upward.
Mhm. Let's choose upward first, then downward after. It's always the nastiest stuff in the basement.
All right, as you go upstairs, you see there's stains on the carpet. Like you can make out, your eyes are starting to adjust now that you can see the stains in the carpet and various graffiti on the wall. It's not really legible as dark as it is in here.
I think the ability allows me to like kind of look through darkness from what I can kind of gather.
Right,
You
so-
can navigate through darkness, so you're like pretty
You're-
like
You're
aware of
navigating
everything.
fine. You're having like this.
Mm.
You have two levels of senses happening right now, right?
Mm.
So not only are you seeing and hearing everything normally, but you also have like a daredevil like sort of spatial awareness. Okay,
Cool.
So you're getting the tactile information on top of the visual. And as you
Nice.
make your way through, you find the upstairs is kind of anything you would expect of the upstairs of a party crash pad. There's a lot of empty bottles, a lot of discarded wrappers of prophylactics and other party favors. There's, it looks like a bunch of kids partied up here a lot.
Heavens
There's
to Betsy.
mattresses that you can like spatially tell how
The
like
crust pad. We
Crust.
that's the crust pad. I found it at last.
So yeah, the upstairs is gross, I guess would be.
Mhm. And there's no one here. Yeah, that's like
Nobody
this
seems
is
to
an
be
abandoned
here.
place.
Looks like nobody's been here in quite some time.
That's okay. Cool. I was just totally changed.
You find a
Interesting.
discarded Zima bottle.
Oh,
I don't know what that means. That
Zima came back in 2020 or so 2018 or something like that. So
That's
she
good.
could have been here. She could have been here.
I have no context what a Zima might be, but I agree, dear American audience.
Did you ever get?
this is
Did you ever get Crystal Pepsi down in Australia?
no.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think so. I don't recall having.
So
Pepsi, but I mean,
imagine a cross between 7-Up and a very, very, very bad American beer.
It's a clear malt beverage. And you can still
Okay.
get it in Japan. So if you ever go visit, you can definitely hurt yourself.
I'll
by drinking
definitely
worse
check
thing.
out this Zima you speak of. I haven't had a lot of American beer personally, but
It's not
interesting.
great.
Australian beer, not bad, but I mean, beer, it's fine. Anywho,
At any rate, yes,
Back on the case.
you find some several year old discarded bottles.
nasty.
It's were you gonna head to the basement from that?
Basement times. It sounds like. Yep. Not too much. This is where the stuff's gonna be, surely.
And as you are sniffing around down there, you sense there's a boiler. You sense there's a series of tubes, and you can pick up there's something scattered inside the boiler.
I kind of go up to the boiler, like scattered is in like inside of it.
Yeah, like there's various objects of different sizes and shapes scattered along the base of the inside of the boiler. You can sense
Okay,
it as
well, I'm
plain
gonna-
as plain as day.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stick my hand in this boiler and
You pop the side open and put your hand in, and you start feeling, and you can feel like technological components.
fascinating. I'll pull it out and have a little examine in the darkness. Like,
Go ahead and roll technology. I am going to give you a complication of 1 because you can't see, but it's not nearly as bad as it would be if you weren't using your spatial awareness.
okay.
But there's still
Complication
like you can't
1.
see like the color of wires and stuff like that.
Technology. I'll probably use cunning for this. It's total of 5 dice. Let's do it. That's 2 successes. So I spend 1 on the complication and I get 1
Excellent.
success.
Yep, that is correct. So, you are pretty sure that these are various components that are used in a neural dowsing device. This is 80-year-old technology that was invented shortly after the Second World War. that's used to it's used in the creation of first generation scions. Basically, they plug these things into you, juice you up with a bunch of electricity to see if you're latent. If you live, then they start going
You're
into
latent.
the implants. Yeah.
Naughty, naughty boys. I'll gather some of these pieces up as like evidence and have a little further look around this room. And if I find nothing, I'll take my goods and depart.
All right, yeah, nothing further besides the remnants of a youth well misspent.
Yep.
So back
I'll head
down
back to the team.
back down in the city, you were heading, doctor, to back to look over the blood sample. Is that correct?
That is correct. Headed to the lab and on the way stopping, grabbing some empanadas, I think, because
You grab some empanadas and head back. Go
Yeah,
ahead and
yeah.
what would you like to rely on as you are examining this evidence?
I mean, it's going to be medicine, but you know what? He's going to dive in and look for any type of traces that could help the investigation. I want to use resolve and
Excellent.
medicine.
Go for it.
Because, all right. And I have a drug specialty, so if that applies, there's an enhancement. That could have been better, could have been worse. Okay. So 3 successes and then an enhancement if drugs apply.
Drugs do apply. You discover that she was sedated with a super science compound that was designed to dissolve into untraceable proteins within 36 hours. You're watching it decay on the slide in front of you.
Within 36 hours.
Yep.
So how is it still there if it's
It's
because
only been
we're
2
looking.
days.
She died between 4 a.m. between noon and 4.
At midnight and 4.
I'm
Tuesday
between
morning.
midnight and 4, Tuesday morning. So you're getting like the last traces of this,
Okay.
effectively.
Cool. Okay. Who would have access to this? Who makes this? Is this something you would need like a super science facility or someone with super
Right.
science abilities to make this, right?
Right. Somebody, any of the various corporations or world governments that you know of that dabble in psychic research could conceivably make something like this.
Mm-hmm.
The Aeon Society could conceivably make something like this, or know where it would be manufactured. But this is the kind of thing that's probably homegrown in somebody's own lab, which seems the most likely to you.
Okay, so the guy's not a surgeon, or at least is sloppy, but he's got the know-how to make this kind of stuff. Anything else inside of there that would be useful, or is that pretty much all he can surmise from that and like
Pretty much all
going
you
over
get
the medical stuff?
out of the blood. You can verify that she died of a stroke. You can verify that what had happened was that that it was caused from clotting around the implants, and then the clots broke loose. So it was really, she died of like 20 strokes all at once. And you're able to cross-reference her DNA. You can tell that she took a 23andMe test about 6 months before disappearing. So you have all the access to the results of that test, her relatives, so on and so forth.
Anything there look useful? Does her 124th Italian ancestry lead me to a pizza place? Like,
give me a cultural.
Oh God! And what do you think for this? Cunning? Probably cunning.
Cunning, probably, because I assume you're skimming it pretty quickly.
1, unbelievably 1.
You got one success.
I got 1 success.
You do see the name Mercer among like a fourth cousin. And Mercer leaps out at you as the name of the founder of the Aeon Society, Maxwell Anderson Mercer, whose family has always been super affluent, but also has always sort of had one foot in the strange. Like out of all the different allegiances in the world, the Phoebe Trust probably trusts Anne the most.
Weird. He will awkwardly text this information in bullet point form, basically, to everybody.
Excellent. You all receive your awkward texts. Meanwhile, ladies, you are at. You are going down to the beach. Were you going to just go to, look for where security is and go right up to them, or what was your plan for getting to the?
No. Where was the security footage from?
So there's security cameras that are set up at the parking lot and along the walkway.
Okay, so do we know who we'd speak to, or
those are operated by the park district?
Okay, so do we go to the park district then?
That'd be one way to do it. You try to talk to someone at the park district to do it.
Yeah.
You try to go to the facility, break in and hack their computer. You could try to go to the facility and tell someone to give you access to their computer. Up to you.
I would like to go there and tell them to give it to me.
Okay. I mean,
I could use my telepathy, maybe.
You will give us the thing we're looking for.
I would like to use.
You're both
persuasion.
telepaths, so your ability to talk someone into something is.
Yes.
And you can, if you want to, you can even mind share before you go in there, and then you can combine your telepathy as a group action.
Cool.
So one of you would have
Okay.
to activate the mind share. This is funny because it's going to really make a difference which one of you does. If the first generation activates the mind share, sorry, give me half a second while I bring up the differences. I apologize.
I think it's gotta find these guys. Trying to figure out whether I should stick around in this town and be like on the hunt for spiked duck and crust. My new foes in this game. Like, where did you get these suspicious objects, duck? That is your real name.
All right, so here's the difference. If Ruby starts off the process, Ruby will have 2 complication for using the power because it's not basic. If she fails, she suffers painful disorientation and is momentarily stunned. As for the 3rd generation psychic, you have to extend your attunement before you can turn on your powers. Otherwise, you have a +2 difficulty to using it.
Okay, so what do you mean I have to extend it?
So to extend your attunement, you roll your psi plus attunement. The risk that generates is you will start sensing any psi in the area. And if there's like a sudden, like if a bunch of people were to suddenly die while you have your attunement up, it'll mess up your head. You'll be like, oh, I just felt a disturbance. And it'll give you damages.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Psi plus attunement. Is there an attunement?
Or psi plus your highest mode, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. I have one success.
Excellent. That's enough to set up the mind share.
Cool.
So now you're connected. Now, I'm sorry. That's enough to extend your attunement. I apologize. So now you can use your powers normally for as long as your attunement lasts. Your attunement should remain up for... I'm just looking for durations here real quick.
I guess scene.
Yeah, lasts for the rest of the scene. So, for the rest of the scene, you use your powers normally. Would you like to go straight up to the sort of security building?
Yeah. Wherever yes, let's go there.
All right. You two arrive. There's a security guard. When you first walk in, there's a guard at the desk. Park district officer says, is everything all right? Is there something I can help you with?
Yes, I'm here to see the security footage for 2 days ago, Tuesday between midnight and 4 a.m.
You got a badge or some identification, a warrant maybe?
Can I go ahead and use persuasion and presence to convince him that I need this footage right now?
You can try that. It's going to be very challenging. Would you like to sweeten that pot with some telepathy?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sure.
I mean, if it fails, you can always just do the telepathy option.
Yeah. Let me do that
Right.
then. I like that route. Hang on.
All right, you have to overcome his attitude of 4 because he is devout to his job, and this is against his job. So
Okay.
So this roll has basically you need 5 successes to convince him.
Okay.
Go, Blossom.
For
Tell him what's what. Listen here, punk. I come all the way down here just to be sucked out by you. A place to be.
Now you can also, because your mind shared, if you want to, Ruby, you can use telepathy to act as like an assistance, basically.
Okay.
I was gonna say I only have 4 success.
Oh, you got 4.
I got 4 success.
How can I use my telepathy to?
Let's see. You got what's your rapport at?
Rapport is 1.
And you've got psych bending too.
The psych bending is 2.
You could use psych bending to command him to let you in.
Do I roll the psi plus the psych bending, or just 2 for the psych
Yep.
bending?
So this time you'll spend a point of psi.
Okay.
You will roll your psi plus your psych bending.
So that's 4 then?
Yep.
Okay.
And I will roll his desperation pool.
I got a 9 and a 10, so I re-roll the 10.
Correct.
And I got a 1. That's nothing. So I got
Alright.
2 successes.
2 successes. Beautiful. So between your efforts, he's like, listen, I would really love to help you out. Okay. I need to know what this is about, who you're working for, what you're looking for this footage for.
We're working for a corporation to solve the murder. Now, are you gonna let us in or not?
Solve a murder, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You got a PI license or something like that?
Can I just flash something?
Yeah, if you want to just like try to flash a badge, make a larceny check, please.
Can I use cunning with that?
Absolutely.
Yes. I have 2 success.
Excellent. Between that and the fact that you're already in his mind, sort of nudging him to believe you, he says, all right, yeah, fine, go in.
Awesome.
So I have to change my psi from 5 to 4, right? Like I'm at.
Right. You'll mark down that you have 4 currently. You want to make sure that you have 5 written down. Like I usually do 4/5, so I know how many I have in total.
Okay.
Because you'll heal them
Gotcha.
fairly quickly.
Okay.
All right, you get inside, and he tells you the footage is in an automated office. It's on the 2nd floor. Just says cameras. Open the door. You should be able to access it. Just be quick. And next time, just start with your credentials, okay?
Sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Shoo.
He turns on the Bears game and goes back to
Da Bears.
it.
All right, so we go into the room. What to?
Yeah, you step into this room. It's full of. It's got like a terminal and a couple of servers, basically.
Okay. So do we know how to use this stuff, or do we need to
could make
call
a-
front desk?
You make a technology roll.
Ruby, do you know how to use this stuff?
I've got like larceny and intellect. Will that work?
Yeah, you can absolutely roll larceny and intellect to see if you can find something in the security footage. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I have 5 larceny and 4 intellect.
Wait, does Ruby do crime?
Ruby might do a little crime.
Okay.
I'm surprised. I'm shocked, honestly. I don't know if I can work with criminals. I'll be able to handle this one. What would mother say?
I got 5 successes.
Excellent.
Nice.
That's very nice.
Beautiful job. All right. You go right in, you hit the footage, and then you start immediately scrubbing the time that it could possibly be. You start eliminating out times for like when the sun's up, when it's not, when they obviously aren't there. And you gain the following information.
Suspense.
There's already been a lot of traffic on the beach, not to mention the weather, meaning anything that you find forensically, you're going to need to take with a grain of salt. You have the video surveillance footage, and you find a few areas that it looks like the body might have been dragged through, including a thicket near the parking lot.
Okay, so do we go ahead and record the videos of the videos? Or can we download this?
You can download it and take it with you if
Okay.
you'd like.
Cool. Ruby, would you be a dear and download this? Thank you, darling.
And about that time is when you get the text about the blood.
Oh, what is this terrible text? I don't even.
I mean, I appreciate some bullet mark. The bullet points are great. Let's see.
Bullet.
Founder Society.
Yeah. What are letter you letter doing?
Oh God.
It's doing with an apostrophe.
No. Oh, I take back my compliments. What is this? Oh, dear Lord. Oh. Just talk to text. It's just as bad.
It's not a pager. You
So-
can just use your words.
TGIF, am I right?
You don't have to pay per character anymore. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, I send a full on 5-page paragraph of what we're doing and the information that we found.
Beautiful. So you now know that you have some strange sci tech up in Rockford. You have the footage that you can certainly go scrub through further at home. And you have this information about the blood. Is there anything else that you would like to do before everyone meets back up? Are you going to continue trying to find Crust and Duck and
I'll have an extra look for this motley gang of
go ahead and give me an Enigmas roll if you don't mind.
people.
Enigmas or larceny or culture, actually.
I could probably do a larceny, but I'm not sure. I could probably, or should I use my gun to get to the bottom of this conundrum?
I mean, if you want to use gun tool with a larceny roll, that's fine.
Go for it.
No.
Do it.
have
Just
fun.
do it.
That's-
Just do it.
I'll-
It's fine.
Look, fine. I'll do it just this once. I'll use my gun tool. If it's all right with you guys, I gotta use momentum for this one. But I get to add my aim to. Let me just check this. The character can use a gun for any action, no matter how unreasonable it may seem. Once per scene, the player may spend a momentum to add her character's aim to any single dice roll. My aim skill is 6. 6? 1, 2, 3.
5.
5. It's 5. Attribute 6.
All All right. So yeah, roll aim plus larceny plus what are you relying on?
Probably. I thought it'd probably be cunning. Like I'm
Cunning?
like tracking them
Okay.
down. Yeah, like I'm on the trail for these guys. So
Roll that massive pile of dice.
12 dice. Believe. 4 successes. How good.
Excellent. You find out that Spike is currently sitting a dime in the prison in Portage for armed robbery.
Oh, Spike, where'd it all go so wrong?
You learn that Crust died in a snowboarding accident.
Oh, Crust, how'd it all go so wrong?
And Duck got sentenced to triple life for home invasion, felony murder, and 2 counts of homicide.
Duck, how did it all go so wrong? Right. So I got 2 people in prison, 1 person's dead. Oh. I wonder if this is suspicious or not. Are they actually I'm like maybe they got framed for it, maybe they're just fucking idiots. I'm just gonna go I'm just gonna like do this, and I don't know exactly how the gun adds into it all, but it does.
You just have to type on the computer.
I would assume waving at people's faces while you're asking them questions.
Add another thing.
Add one more.
Yeah, my assumption is that your larceny roll was you going to like every sort of dive bar within about 100 miles of Mauston, Wisconsin.
Now listen up here. You gotta tell me what's what. You're just talking about
Or
Duck, Crust, or Spike. One of these people. I'm gonna like. Yeah. Well, I think that'll be probably my wonderful adventure in Rockwood. Lots learned, more than I ever probably needed to know.
All right.
But,
I mean, the 2 guys that are in prison, you could visit if you wanted to ask them questions.
oh, like they're in Rockwood?
Well, I mean, they're in prison. One's in Portage, Wisconsin. One is in Statesville, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Where's
Statesville?
Like southern Illinois.
Oh.
I'll send a message to the group like, I've got a lead on Spike and Crust. They're serving time at the moment. Should I follow it up, or should we gather back?
Yeah, Spike and Duck are serving time.
Crust died.
Crust died.
Crust died.
Yes, Spike and Duck.
Crust was my favorite though. I had no context for it, but man, Crust was the best. All right, that's fine. Duck and Spike are serving time. I can follow up with that, or we can come back together. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, if one is close by you, the other one's close by us. So, I mean,
yeah.
Ruby, are you game?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
I mean, in some sense, I'm always close by all of you. So,
I mean, where you're at is closer to Wisconsin, and if it's southern, we're closer to the southern one. So we're going this way.
The benefits of teleportation.
I was going to say, with teleportation, you could make it. You could go to both before they could.
Yeah, and we could talk to the family. That was one thing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. I do need to have, what is it called, a noetic
connection.
Noetic connection to the place I'm going. I can make
a
one.
Google Maps picture.
Oh, yeah.
Is that good enough? Damn.
Absolutely. You can with teleportation. You can jump to
technology.
With teleportation, you can jump to a celestial body you can see. So, like, if you're a teleporter, you can look up and be like, "I'm pretty sure that's Mars." Whoop! I'm on Mars. You just want to make sure that you're sure it's Mars.
Would not recommend.
100% be sure it's Mars. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll do that while you guys do the other follow-up. How about that?
Excellent.
Because I don't the range of my powers.
So, and you have teleportation 3, right? So
I have teleportation 2.
Oh,
I have transport mass.
Oh,
I have relay person.
You do have relay person?
Yeah, I have relay persons.
So you can pop yourself around, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's spend a point of psi and roll psi for each one, but I'll allow
So I
it.
have 3 psi. Is that?
You have 3 psi, and then you should have psi points as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe at psi 3 it's 15.
Oh, cool. Gotcha. All right, Thailand, bye. Let's do it. I'll open my orcs. I need to open the range of the
Attunement.
attunement.
All right, so go ahead and roll your psi plus your highest mode. And that doesn't cost anything.
Four successes on the first one.
All right, so you've opened your attunement. Nothing. There's no negative effects at this point.
Sounds good. And then I'm going to roll for actually teleporting to this place. I think, yeah, because I'm going to like the prison side of that.
Right. So with relay person, you would have to make a couple of jumps.
Because it's 10 kilometers.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you're gonna need to make like 3 jumps to get to the first prison, and then actually, you'd need to make a lot of jumps to get to the bottom prison. But that's okay. You can make 3 jumps.
That's that. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
All right. So spend 3 psi and give me 3 psi plus quantum or psi plus quantum. Psi plus relay person rolls, please.
And relay person is just one second. How do I know what the roll for that is?
You'd roll that mode.
I'll just roll the mode. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right, let's do it. That's 1 success for the first one. That's 2 success for the second one. That is 2 success for the third one.
All right, so you're able to teleport with no incident. You're able to sort of pop in and out of places where nobody sees you popping in and out of places, and you make your way there. I'll get back to you momentarily.
Sounds good.
Are you going to collect Dr. Tom before you go to interview with the family?
Tommy boy, you coming with us?
I mean, yeah, I could go if you need the back. You know what? I'd hate for you 2 ladies to go out there by yourself if something bad happened. You know, or not to be that kind of guy, but you know, like I would feel better if I went with you. You know.
You know what would be even better is if you paid for pizza on the way. I think that'll really keep us safe. Mm-hmm.
Safety. You know what? Safety's important.
Pizza.
Yes.
You driving?
You stop, get pizza.
You know
Oh, go ahead.
I'll drive. I got some CCR and on the tape deck. We'll do this.
Nice. You pop in some CCR and you make your way to a pizza joint and then over to the Peterson residence.
A place called Rudy's. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's great.
Are you cooking up any sort of a cover story for your interview with these folks? Or are you just going to walk up and be like, I want to ask you about this traumatic situation?
No preamble. Go drive right ahead. He's gone.
What's our story?
Maybe we should be like reporters.
Should be reporters, or we do have Tommy Boy, who's a doctor. So we could be following up on an exam. We need some background history.
Yeah.
And just so happen to probe a little bit more while we're there.
Okay. So he's trying to dig into this medical exam further and get history.
And you would all have gained your psi and psi points on the drive over there.
So how do we do this? How? I mean, I can't just roll up to their house and be like, "Hey, I cut your daughter open. Got some questions about why her appendix is missing."
This is not their family. Correction. This is the family that witnessed the body.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. You could also go to her family if you want to. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
If that was what you were thinking, that's fine too.
Oh, there's door. Wow, how convenient.
So we're going to see the family that found the body.
That was
Sure.
that was the family that who you hadn't. That was the witnesses you hadn't yet interviewed. If you wanted to go see her family, you can do that as well.
Okay.
I mean,
We're here already. We might as well see the witness or the people who found the bodies, family, and
You got-
I mean, we have badges. They don't
You got-
necessarily know what our badges are.
just show the badge.
Flash the badge.
Flash
Say we
the
need more
badge.
answers, and go from there.
Yeah, we're investigating the death of the woman that that you found, and we have some questions.
All right. Who is going to do the talking?
I suppose I'll do the talking.
All right, go ahead and give me a
Presence
larceny
6.
manipulation or larceny presence.
Can I
Is
do
he not?
persuasion presence instead?
That's fine.
All right, cool.
And I'll give you an enhancement of 1 for the fake ID.
Woohoo! All right, let's see.
But I also have a fake ID.
Two.
Should find
Oh,
what that
God.
does.
All right, I have 2 success.
Excellent. So you knock on the door and flash your badge. Hey, we're here to talk to you about the thing. The guy answers the door and says, "Please come in. I'm sorry, we're a little upset and a little short on time. What can I do for you?"
What all do we want to find out?
Let's see. Who's there? Is it just the guy that's there?
You can hear noise coming from like the breakfast nook.
Okay. Because we might want to talk. They specifically mentioned that the child saw something. It's not the most. We might want to talk to the kid.
That's true.
He says,
Um,
"We're kind of trying to get along with our day. Could we move this along? And I would like you all are going to need to come over to overcome a negative attitude that this guy has. He's annoyed.
Hey, you know what? You know what? You know who wishes that she could have gone along with her day? The girl you found. So you better cooperate. Because that girl's family needs closure. How would you feel if your little girl had that same fucking thing?
What would you like to roll?
I have no idea. I just went dad.
Roll for dad. Roll for dad.
Let's go for
Roll for dad.
Let's go for
What is that?
persuasion. I would say
Yeah.
persuasion or empathy or integrity.
Ooh. Integrity. All right. And what would that be? Presence? Would that be? Or would it be? You know what?
Or might.
I can't. I'm gonna do might because like Tom's big. Like
Right.
he's a big dude.
It's totally fine.
This food's all going somewhere. All right. That one's cocked. One sec. I got 1 success
Okay.
on that. And may I use the specialty weight training for athletics?
Yes. Which brings you to 2 successes and shifts his attitude down to a neutral but frightened of you. He says, fine, look. The body was already washed up when we got here. What other questions do you have?
Dad bust.
Did you see anything? Any marks on the body?
I mean, she was wrapped in plastic. I didn't touch her. I didn't mess with her. I tried to get the family not to look. You know, everybody was upset. I didn't mess with the body. I just called 911.
Did you notice any objects around the body?
Just the plastic.
And it was the child who found the body?
No, it was me. The kid just ran up to me when I yelled. And then Becca started shouting and the kid went back. Alex, he's curious, but I don't know that he saw anything. We're gonna have him see a therapist next week anyway.
Do you mind if we spoke to Alex?
I'd really rather we don't put Alex through anything.
As a
I mean, it would help to be able to talk about it a little bit, with understanding people.
It helps children to feel useful.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, come on. He leads you back into the breakfast nook, and you see the rest of the family is sitting there in the nook. You see Becca, who is in her late 30s or mid 30s, and then Alex and Katie, who are ages 5 and 3 respectively.
Gonna talk to a 5-year-old. Okay.
All right, so I'll squat down in front of Alex and Bill. Hey, sweetheart, just we want to talk about what you saw the other day. Was it the other day or was it today?
It was yesterday.
Yesterday it was pretty scary, huh?
It was. Go ahead and roll a empathy or persuasion.
Okay, I'll do persuasion then.
And what would you like to rely on?
Would presence be too? No, presence would be good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So that would be.
Can you guys as psychics see what they saw?
I have a 2 success.
They can if they probe their mind. Yeah, 2 successes.
Yeah.
All right. He kind of breaks down everything that he saw. You don't hear anything leap out at you that wasn't already mentioned in either the police report or that you haven't already seen. The kid just saw a traumatic experience, unfortunately.
Mm.
Did either of you want to try to probe his mind?
Can I probe the father's mind?
You can probe the minds of anyone who's present if you'd like.
Probe.
And that's using... Trying to find surface thoughts. Is that what you're looking at?
I think, well, whatever word that would be, I guess. Like if I can see what he's...
So would it be mind share?
Yeah, if any of you have mind share of 2, you could skim their surface thoughts while you're...
Nice.
It doesn't let you probe their mind, but it lets you read their surface thoughts. And while you're talking about this, that's a good time to do it.
I only have a mind share of 1.
Same.
Yeah. So yeah, no probing their surface thoughts as of yet.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to try to do here?
Should we ask the mom if she saw anything?
Yeah, I guess so. Might as well since we're here.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll for mom, or empathy if you prefer.
Okay. Is it the persuasion and presence again?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And is there anything in particular are you just kind of giving her the same questions, or are you
I guess it'd be more so of did anything stand out, I guess.
Okay.
I only have 1 success on that one.
Okay. She says, did anything stand out? No, but it's probably nothing. And her husband says, please. You're right, it's probably nothing. And she leans forward and says, I don't know, a panic when I saw the body laying there. When Phil yelled to get back, I saw something. I know it sounds so silly, but it was like on one of those... You ever watch like John Edwards?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
It was like that almost. Like I saw a dark room with a single light over the bed, and I smelled chewing gum.
What kind of chewing gum?
I don't know, just a really thick, sickly, like... Well, when I was a kid, I lived by a gum factory. It smelled just like it.
Like driving down Forest Hills Road.
Like driving down Forest Hills Road, yes.
Did you get any other kind of feelings or thoughts or visions from this moment?
Panic.
So you actually had a vision of a light over a bed?
Yeah, it was so weird. I saw it for just a second.
Huh.
This is extremely helpful. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, no problem. Hopefully I'm sure it was just something I ate or the fear,
Could be.
I mean, Maybe you have a secret talent that you never knew about.
You think so?
Possibly. You know what? Here, take my card. If you ever have this again, please, feel free to give me a call or text anytime. All right?
Of course. She takes the card. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very helpful.
Yeah. And anything else you'd like to do before you take off there?
Was there anything else? Any other information? I think that was pretty useful.
Yeah, the only other person you haven't spoken to yet is Katie, who is barely verbal.
Was Katie even there?
Katie was there that morning, but she's 3 years old, so.
Probe her mind.
We don't have the mind share to probe.
The child knows all. No. The kid did it. It's like a Maggie Simpson thing.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, on that note, then you all sort of, the rest of you are able to reconvene back at the hideout while you await for your final ally to return from the safe house. So, as you get to the first prison in Portage, Lazarus, they give you access. He's got visiting time. And this was, I believe, Spike you were seeing.
Yeah.
So he comes
I
in.
do have a alternate identity as well. That too.
Oh, excellent. So you're using like a fake ID to go see him? Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good call.
Good call. Being a spy.
Comes in, sits down across from you and says, "What you want?
Which one?
What do you want? Who are you? You're cutting into my yard time. What's going on?"
I would like to very much know about a evening that happened about 3 years ago with an individual by the name of Monica Carter. I would like a very succinct response from you without too much higgledy-piggledy, as it were. Do you remember Monica Carter?
Why don't you roll persuasion? You're going to have to overcome an attitude of 4 because this dude does not give a shit about at the moment.
Oh,
so,
God, I wish I could shoot him, but I'm in a prison.
You have the ability to teleport.
I can teleport him.
you could,
Yeah.
you could relay him and you could get him out too. Just saying.
I could get him out. I'm just like, is like government crime as bad as like psychic crime? Probably not. Psychic crime way worse. I'm just doing a public service here. Psychic crime very bad.
Yeah, so go ahead and persuasion, or if you want to rely on something else, if you want to rely on larceny, like trying to like make yourself appear like you're more street savvy than you are, that would be fine too.
Yeah, I mean, not terribly, not street savvy. I think, yeah, like I'll go with like larceny and cunning. I guess I'll like.
Right.
Let me tell you how this is going to kind of go. That kind of vibe.
I have a particular set of skills.
I have a particular set of skills. And we'll see how that all travels. That's a total of 6. 3 successes.
Not bad. Okay.
Not quite enough though. Oh,
he says, "All right."
He
says, "All right. Look, I'll level with you. Okay."
I love being leveled with.
The people who paid us for that gig are long gone. We got paid.
Do you have names?
All I know her by is Mrs. Richards.
Mrs. Richards, eh?
And we got paid by this girl to find girls who, or guys who we could isolate from their friends, get them by themselves, slip them a Mickey and hand them over. That was it. We also let her use our basement for about 2 weeks when we had the disaster house running. We didn't ask no questions. She just paid us a big chunk of change to fuck off for 2 weeks and let her have the place.
Do you think you could describe this person if you saw him again?
Yeah, I mean, she's cute, blonde, tall, wore a black suit, kept her hair in a bun, wore mirror shades.
What did you mean it?
Met her at a bar in the Dells.
Do you know how to get in contact with her again?
Shit, no. If I did, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. She had money.
Do you think you could figure out a way to find her? If
Oh,
you were
Yeah, I'll see if I
in
run
the
into her
ex-
at the country club next week.
Don't- there's no need to be snide. I'm asking you this because there's the very real chance that you might be able to have an option to make that a possibility. So if you want to continue to be snippy with me,
What are you
you
saying?
can
That
enjoy
if I flip on her, I could get out? Look, first off,
Mhm.
I ain't a rat. Secondly, even if I was a rat, I don't know what to tell you. Chick came to
Well-
us, man. Chick came to us with a lot of money. We took the money and we didn't ask a lot of questions. My share went largely up my nose, a little bit into my liver, and spent it on this chick's car thinking we were going to get together. Hey, never pay for auto repairs. That's my love life advice to you.
I don't think I'm going to take your specific advice, but you have been pretty helpful.
Listen, I've been in the
Alma,
joint.
thank you
I've been in
for
the
your
joint for
time.
2.5 years, and let me tell you something. You want to take the advice of people in here. We're very good
Hard
at
pass.
we're very good at making mistakes.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm probably not going to take your advice, but this has been very enlightening. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Enjoy life in prison. And he will roll on out of there.
What a charmer.
Are you going to head to the other prison, or are you going to head back?
I think I'll head back. I think it's get this stuff together.
So,
what was the name of this person that he had
Spike and
again? The
Oh,
name of the person who had hired them.
Mrs. Richards.
Cooley Dooley Wooly.
All blonde.
I should take it.
with a
I've been taking
bun.
notes that entire time. All blonde.
Cute, blonde, tall, kept her hair in a bun, wore mirror shades, came for money, Mrs. Richards.
Needed a space for like a weekend, like her space at the
2 weeks. She rented the
house?
place
2
for
weeks.
2 weeks. And I'll give to you that you probably are aware that the install process for creating a first generation Scion, and the quickest you could hope to move them afterward is about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating.
Because before
I-
that, they're going to be entirely too messed up from the implants.
Yeah, but she did survive for 3 years, supposedly. So interesting.
Yes, so this
Well, that's all
happened
that-
3 years ago.
Yeah, she would have survived though, because she was alive at some
That's
point.
what I was thinking. Maybe she didn't. If she did reject the implants, maybe it didn't happen right away for some reason.
Well,
Or activated. I don't know.
Okay, so do you text us all this stuff?
I'm probably gonna
Like, pop home and tell them.
Oh,
pop them and tell them.
hey,
Hi. Jesus.
And by now, you should all have regained all of your psi and your inspiration. So now that you're back at the house, you've got all of your clues together. You're able to share your information freely. Does anyone?
Okay. Would I know this person since I came from a life of privilege?
They don't sound immediately familiar. It's not a lot to go on. You don't know any Mrs. Richards that comes to mind that fits that description. No.
Okay.
So
You
now
know who wears mirror shades? Feds.
feds do wear mirror shades. That's true.
Hmm.
While you're waiting for Lazarus to return, by the way, you do have time to scrub that footage a little bit more closely. So why doesn't anyone who's involved with that want to give me either a technology or enigmas roll?
Got got 4 enigmas.
That would-
all you, Ruby. All you, Ruby.
Okay. And then I have 4 intellect.
All right, excellent. So go ahead and roll 8 dice. Yeah, by the time that Lazarus is returned, also those proteins and any traces of them have dissolved. So you caught them really at the very, very end of their life.
Perfect. So how does this all... this is just... Something about this is...
I got 5.
Excellent. As you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, you eventually come to, like pretty much right as Lazarus is walking in the door, you find a image of a van in the parking lot at about 5:15 Wednesday morning. 2 men dragging the body out of the van through the thicket and down to the lake.
Can we NCIS this and zoom in and it magically isn't blurred of the plate?
The cameras are 4K. You absolutely can zoom in and get a partial plate.
Woohoo!
Is it a government plate?
It is not a government plate.
Okay, well, there's my Fed side, yeah. Okay, all right. I mean, Kelly knows, but
Well, I mean,
not that it's not.
they did say 2 guys and not the chick, so you could still be right.
From that partial plate, you are able to get a name and an address.
Woohoo!
The name is Brandon Stein. He owns the van. It's registered to a roofing business called Stein Roofing. And the address is on Martin Street, not far from a gum factory.
Oh.
That makes a lot of sense. A guy, roofing business, gonna have lots of sheeting just kicking around.
That's true.
Full of sheep.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll do a quick brief of what I've found. I went to the place with the old trio of degenerates, and I found these. He brings out the like device wire psionic like capacitor stuff he found in the boiler. Doc, I think you probably want to have a little examine of this. From what I can understand, this chick, Miss Richards, used their money, spent 2 weeks basically installing it into Monica Carter, make them a first generation scion. 3 years ago, assumedly, when the Duck and the boys kidnapped her basically and then lied to the police about it. And subsequently disappeared 2 weeks later and was never seen again until, of course, a few days ago, she washed up on the beach. So I don't know where she would have gone, but wherever she went, this Miss Richards person is probably the go there. We could follow up with the last member of the trio, chap by the name of Duck. I think I saw Spike, but not Duck. Yeah,
That is correct. Duck is the one that's doing triple life.
he's doing triple life currently, deep down south. But yeah, so. That seems to be
I will give you this, Ruby. As soon as you see those components come out, you immediately recognize them. That is a neural dowsing device. It's not the implants that are used to make you into a scion. If that's assembled properly and attached to something big enough for a person to fit in, like say a tube like is pictured behind me, or say the tube of a boiler, if it's attached to that and the person is placed inside, over the course of a few days, that can determine whether or not they're psionically active.
Okay. So she wasn't necessarily implanted back then.
Right. She was just, at the very least,
Checked.
doused to see if...
Okay. Got it.
Interesting. Why would they wait 3 years? What were they doing with her for 3 years? Just eyeballing it, seeing how it's going to work out. The thing that I don't quite get is what's the angle between that and the serial killer? Like, obviously, the serial killer must have been a first generation scion of whoever was making these people, because the lines fit the same way. Not all scions are created the same way. Not all neural links, from my understanding at least, the same. But this seems to be quite in line with a particular brand of this kind of thing. So
Yeah, you bring up an excellent point, and you have access to a library here at your office, which includes basically the security system inside of the safe house is a super science device, and included in that super science device is Library 2 Psionics. So you can actually make a roll here if you'd like to investigate and see specifically what, because as you mentioned, the first generation scions were created by different processes. So you can see if you can narrow down what process this was used using the library.
yeah, I feel like that would be his like more cunning. Like, this is probably the way to do it, but he'll pass over to Uber. He's just better at looking through and researching stuff because of a higher intelligence. And like, would that make sense for your character?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, would that make sense to you?
So would that be like a culture and cunning thing?
Stacy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for Stacy, it would be a
I have larceny and
enigmas. It'd be what you'd be looking at. If you wanted to make a culture cunning roll as well, Nicole, to add to it, so as a teamwork roll, that would be fine. So you would each, the way this would work is because you have the library background. Let me look that up real fast.
Yeah, I think like we got to.
Oh, go ahead.
That's it. I was going to say, I think the dynamic between the various members of the team is like Ruby is much more around like understanding the weird shit that we've found, but a few of us are more like Doc, for instance, is about like finding this weird shit. Like, what does this particularly mean in a more medical context and around a bunch of that kind of stuff, as well as being a bit like, what does it mean? And then we hand to you and like, what does this mean? Like, it means this. Whereas I think like, Nicole's character, Clara, is much more get us in the doorway to then steal a bunch of stuff that we then have a look at and hand to you and be like, what? And I'll probably be more like there's fighting to be done. Oh, I'm so excited. I love fighting.
That's fair.
I love fighting.
Yes. Ruby, darling, I have no idea.
So what you
Sorry.
So the way this will work is we'll have your library gives you an enhancement. So each of you will get to make the roll that you had chosen, and you'll each get an enhancement of 2.
Oh, okay. I'm just useful enough to give you paper. Here you go. I don't know.
Did you get no successes on that roll?
Not a single one.
You do gain a point of momentum though because it was a failed roll.
Yes.
So
Nice.
Ruby, you may make your enigmas and intellect roll if you'd like, and you have 2 enhancement.
So what is 2 enhancement? That's 2 extra dice?
No, that means that if you get any successes on the dice, you get to add 2 for free.
Okay. Okay, so we're doing enigmas 4 and intellect 4. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if this is a 9 or a 6.
Should be a line or a dot.
Oh, I know what it is. It's a 9 because it's a 90. Okay. And that's 3.
Long last, I can finally use gun to understand what this means.
It's gunderstanding at that point.
Understanding.
Yeah.
7. I got 7.
7 successes. Okay, so yeah, you absolutely can narrow this down entirely to one particular process. That process is used by, if you'll bear with me for a half a second, Saltbridge Technologies. They're kind of the foremost independent contractor creating scions for governments, to use as black ops agents. But this is their process. Saltbridge Technologies has facilities, money, backing. This does not look like something that was done above the board by Saltbridge. Why would Saltbridge be snatching people and using a crust punk hideout to run this testing? This might be somebody who stole tech from Saltbridge. Like maybe an ex-employee or something along those lines. So that's what you're able to glean from those pieces.
Okay.
Do we know where Saltbridge is?
Saltbridge is kind of the big bad of the Phoebe Trust. They've got holdings all over the country, all over the world, but they operate in kind of like a Halliburton space where they're doing illegal shit, but they're doing it legally. They're doing it at the behest of governments. So bringing them down is very difficult to do.
So
they have a local facility in Chicago, absolutely.
Mercer was the fourth cousin of this place?
So no, Mercer, the name Mercer is tied to the Aeon Society. Which
the Aeon.
A group of philanthropists dating back to the turn of the century.
Okay, sorry.
But those philanthropists also have a known history of dealing with the unusual. Back during the Age of Heroes, the Aeon Society had various inspired who worked with them.
Okay.
Want to go visit the Saltbridge Technologies facility?
To see if they have any stolen stuff?
Yeah.
Or any recent, I guess any stolen equipment and recent fires.
I mean, if we're going to go take a look at Saltbridge, we're going to have to be prepared for it to go very badly, very quickly. It doesn't seem like Saltbridge, from what you've told me, is directly responsible, but adjacently responsible. So we have to figure out who this Miss Richards is in relation to Saltbridge and where they would be now and what they're doing adjacent to Saltbridge.
I mean, it sounds like we know the where, since it's next to Stein Roofing. We think that it's in the gum factory, right?
There's the gum factory that's next to Stein Roofing, yes. Now, Stein was the actual, that was who the truck was registered to that dumped the body. And the roofing company does have access to the wrapping. Is it possible that Saltbridge has some facilities in that gum factory? Yes. Is it possible that Saltbridge has facilities in Stein Roofing? Yes. You haven't been to their place yet, so you don't know quite how big that is.
All right. Well,
you could also, just to throw that out there, you could try to hack in without actually physically going to Saltbridge. You could try to hack in and try to get employee records.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Ruby, darling.
Yes.
Would you be a dear and hack into their system, please?
Sure.
Now, do you have any dots in technology?
I have dots in larceny.
Okay, right. All right.
Well,
so let's get larceny. Let's get
and intellect,
cunning or manipulation. You have dots in.
I have dots in technology, and I do have dots in aim. I'm just saying, there's a connection here to the computer with my
boring conversation anyway. We're about to have company. Han Solo, exactly.
So what do I know, computer? Beep. Aha, at last.
Lazarus, do you want to use your technology?
I sure do.
All right, so why don't we have so here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna have Lazarus make a technology roll, maybe with cunning or intellect.
Yep.
Your successes are going to be the maximum amount of successes that you can that Ruby can apply hacking, because she can only be as good as the hacker who's driving, right? Makes sense.
I think it would probably be a good time to use my handy dandy tool to make this more likely to succeed.
You want to spend a XP or spend a momentum for
A
gun tool?
momentum for my gun tool, yeah.
As long as everyone's okay with it, and we can figure out how does your gun work. Here's how your gun is going to apply. You're going to realize that there's got to be fans of the Second Amendment that are working there, right? So somebody's password has got to be like, like Colt 45
Bear. Mike. Bear Arms 776.
Right. 1770. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that is how your gun tool is going to help.
I love it.
It's going to be Sic Semper Tyrannis, all misspelled.
Yes, absolutely. SICK.
Yes,
For the I.
So you'll
I
roll.
No, it's going to be Bear Arms. We all know
And
it
in
is gonna be
fact,
Bear
if you
Arms.
want to, so you can do some cool stuff with mind share here, where if you wanted to psychically connect your minds.
Oh, sure. I could help with that at least.
That would allow you to negate. So you basically get to add additional successes up to the mind share into that max pool. Okay, so go ahead and spend a point of psi, and if you're gonna facilitate the mind share, for if Clara's gonna do it, Clara, you're second generation or you're third generation, right?
Third. Yeah.
So you need to attune first.
Okay. How many did I need to roll for that again?
That is your psi plus your highest mode.
Psi plus. Okay. I have 2 success.
Excellent. So that will add to the total amount that are generatable. And so what that means is at this point, then Jacob, you'll roll your technology, aim, and intellect, I guess, or cunning.
Yes, I shall.
All right, go ahead and make that roll.
All right, let's roll 10. Roll 10. That's going to be 3 successes.
Excellent. So you have a total of 4 is the maximum you can get to hack this thing. Ruby, give me that enigmas roll.
Okay. Am I doing enigmas and intellect?
Either enigmas and intellect or enigmas and cunning, whichever you feel is most appropriate for you.
Okay. I just got 2.
2 successes total. Excellent. So you are able to get access. Your 1 success gets you in. 1 success gets you a list of employees who could conceivably fit that description, current and former. There are 12 on that employee list. I will get you that list next session.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we'll wrap things up for this session. Does anybody have any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about the cold case so far?
I think so.
Nope.
That's all good.
We're going to get this son of a bitch.
Go get 'em.
Excellent. So
Or-
just
To
a brief recap of the clues that you know. So far, you know somehow this, at least the van belonging to this roofer, right? Stein Roofing. You know that was involved. You have an address for Stein Roofing, and you have a list of a dozen current and potential former employees who fit the physical description of Mrs. Richards.
Nice.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Anything I missed that was important there? Now we come to everyone's favorite part of the
XP.
day, which is XP.
Delicious.
So, experience is based largely on your aspirations, but there are a few other ways you can gain XP. So, did Stacy, did Ruby achieve any of the short-term aspirations listed on their character sheet?
think so. It's supposed to psychically save a citizen and rescue another scion.
So far, you have not saved anyone or rescued anyone yet. So not yet. But there is still time. Has
Cool.
Lazarus completed any short-term aspirations?
I think I went one step further in a situation that I kind of needed to potentially, like with my interaction with the guy in prison, but maybe not. I also had to do a trick shot. I didn't really do any trick shots. I didn't shoot my gun at all.
All right. So no short terms yet this session for you. How about for Kelly?
No,
Dr.
nothing. He didn't get his cover blown. He didn't trust the wrong person that he knows of.
That he knows of.
Yeah, and then he still has no idea about his kid. So,
all right. How about Clara? Any short-term aspirations completed?
No, she did not step on someone, and she didn't convince someone to work for us. Well, no.
I mean, no, yeah, you didn't convince someone to like be part of your thing yet, but you did give out a business card to someone who might be a latent scion.
Yes.
If that wasn't
possible
abundantly
future?
clear, by the way,
Yes, that's
Becca might be a latent clairsentient.
so maybe next time I might be able to accomplish the short.
There
one.
is nothing wrong with building toward those short-term aspirations. So no experience this time for that, but that's okay. Did anyone achieve any long-term aspirations?
No, not yet.
All right, but you did reach a story milestone by gathering the clues and coming back to the analysis scene. So I will give you a point for that. And you all get 1 point for showing up. So there's your 2 experience for this session.
Wait, isn't it doubled though?
Why would it be doubled?
Wasn't there something along the lines of if we used half of our
No, you just get 1 point for that.
Oh.
Okay, so is that included in the 2?
Yep.
Okay.
1 for spending the experience, 1 for showing up. Or 1 for spending the momentum, 1 for showing up.
Okay, I thought there was a milestone one as well, though.
Oh, right. Completed story milestone. So you should have 3. You're correct.
Yes.
So we
did that
have
one.
3
Oh.
experience.
It's all coming together. Well, how can you spend that? Like,
so
what's
your experience chart is on page 38 of the core book, I believe.
all right?
And then it gets a little funny because for a talent, you also have an advancement chart in the back.
Oh.
And that's just for buying gifts, basically.
Okay, I probably don't have enough for that yet. I'm pretty sure. I think that's like 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's on page 158. For scions, you have your psychic powers, and that is covered in Trinity Continuum Aeon. And that is on page 124. Of Aeon, not Core.
Yeah.
These 3 points for getting, am I supposed to put those on here somewhere?
Yep, under experiences. Should have experiences or experience line.
Actually, I'll wait.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
Is it on the first page or the second page?
Bottom of the first page, bottom left.
Oh, experiences.
Yep.
Okay, so I just put a 3 there?
Yep, you can just write down a 3.
Okay.
And then if you want to spend them, I usually put like I usually put my new total and then a slash and then my absolute total, just so I can keep track of how many points my character is overall.
Sounds good.
But for example, with 3 experience, you can buy a dot in a newer existing edge, or you can buy a dot in a newer existing path edge for 2 experience. You can also add a skill trick to a skill for 3 experience, or add a specialty to a skill. Or you can save them up.
I think I'm saving them up.
Yeah, I'm saving.
But on that bright shiny note, I'm that wraps up session 1. I had a riot. I had a good time.
Yeah.
You all did very good job investigating. I hope are you enjoying, I guess the biggest question is, are you enjoying this structure of like, here's the scene, here's the roles to get through the scene, here's the role play. Here's the scene, here's the roles to get through the scene, here's the role play. Does that structure seem
Yeah.
fun
That's
and
good.
workable
I think
to
so.
you all? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Then I'll keep rolling that structure out through the rest of the story. My guess is we will wrap up next session. We may go one session beyond that.
Okay.
So again, the idea being that we're just doing kind of a short, fun play, and then if we're all enjoying it afterward, maybe we'll do something else or revisit this down the
Do
road.
some more.
But then once this is done, I will have this up over at Storypath Nexus for people to pick up so they can run it at their tables. So
Nice.
real quick before we run off, I'd like everybody to go ahead and once again tell us who you are, what you do, your pronouns, who you're playing, their pronouns, anything you'd like to promote. And this time we'll start things off with Clara. Please give us your details.
Oh, okay. Hello again. I guess, well, good evening. No, what? I don't even know what time it is. Afternoon, whatever. Anyways, hi, Nicole Biggins, she, her, play Clara, also she, her. Again, I'm in marketing, just moved to New York this year, working conventions, slowly but surely, and then currently selling sexy anime men stickers. It's gonna be great. That's
Where might someone find the sexy anime men stickers?
you could go to maniacalartmanagement.com. You could check out my socials. Most of them are either Maniacal Art Management, Maniacal Men, or if you happen to cross my horrible TikToks, that is Maniacal Nicole.
Excellent.
On my way.
Next up,
Gosh.
next up, Dr. Tom. Please give us your pertinence.
Hello, everybody. Kelly from Dork Tales here, playing Dr. Tom Hodge, who it's going to feel good to take the grump off in a sec, and to be able to text again. We both use he, him, and definitely swing by Dork Tales if you want to see some more World of Darkness, Aeon, Onyx Path, and some dragons or something as well, I'm sure.
Yay, dragons.
Right? A lot of fun over there, so come visit us.
Excellent. Definitely head over to Dork Tales. I just threw a shout out in the chat. Make sure you follow
I
them.
noticed. Thank you.
And sub. It's September. You should sub them. You save a few bucks in the process. You should sub here while you're at it. Next up, Lazarus. Please give us your pertinence.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm coming from Australia, which might not be too pertinent for those who live in the Americas, but generally speaking, I'm doing all things nerdy, whether that's games or designing or doing LARPs. If you ever find yourself in Brisbane, Australia, check us out. We're Esquire Games, and check out Art and Roleplay if you haven't at all. But other than that, stay nerdy and have a good time. Yeah.
Rock and roll. Thank you so much for being here and for staying up
Nice.
late for us. We love
that's
having
so
you.
good.
And last but not least, that brings us to Ruby. Please give us your pertinence.
I'm playing Ruby, she, her. I'm Stacy, also she, her. And this is my first role-playing game, so.
So how do you feel about the experience now that you've made a
really
character
fun.
and played?
It's been really fun. It's a good experience. I like it.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that, and I hope that it continues next week when we rejoin this Twitch channel for more Phoebe Trust. I have been Travis. My pronouns are he, they. When I'm not running games, I'm writing them. You can find me pretty much everywhere online at Travis Legge. And I want to remind you once again, it is Realms of Pugmire Month. You can head over to DriveThruRPG and get several Pugmire PDFs for 10% of their price. That is 10% of, not 10% off. Go get Pugmire for $1.50. I also want to remind you this weekend, Friday night is our game night over at Start Playing Games. If you want to check out some Onyx Path games or run something, earn a few bucks in the process, head over to the link for Start Playing Games event link I just threw up in the chat, and you can set yourself up to run or play in one of the games that's being offered. And then last but not least, we've got this Redbubble is running a sale where they're offering 30% off with code Change It Up 30. And since it's Pugmire month, I thought I would put together the link to the Pugmire collection and share that here in the chat as well. And here's your code. Right there in chat as well, so you can nice and copy and paste it. So if you want some Pugmire swag, now's the perfect time to get it. And yeah, if you haven't done so yet, please consider liking, following, all that fun stuff. And join us same bat time, same bat channel next week for session 2 of the Phoebe Trust. Till then, wash your hands, wear a mask, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you real soon.
All right, bye.
Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.